All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back here on ProfNoki to the brand new series that I'm going to be doing here called The Morning Upload, where I'm going to be going over a lot of the news stories that broke this morning and last night regarding gaming and entertainment, Pokemon, like normal, of course, and other games and such. Just kind of a hangout, chill time where we can talk about the things that are going on, recently. If I end up having the time, I'm going to do this a lot more frequently than just on Monday mornings. But starting out here, we're going to do this on Monday mornings. So, good morning. It looks like Bushy already popped in here and said hello. Hopefully you're doing well, Bushy. It's been a long time. Anybody else out there? Glad to see you around. Hopefully you guys haven't been stuck inside all summer. You've been enjoying your summer outside. We are going to dive right in here. Starting things off this morning, I have to discuss the fact that, of course, it is Mario's 35th birthday. And I think that's just incredible because, obviously, I just turned 30 this year, if you guys have been around on the channel for quite some time. And to think that Mario has been around longer than I have, very crazy that we've reached that point of gaming now where one of the most original concepts for a game has now reached 3 decades plus. But speaking of Mario, one of the craziest things that's been coming out lately is the fact that the upcoming 3D AllStars that's due to come out on the 18th, so literally just 4 days from now, is basically sold out almost everywhere. I'm really hoping that we can get our hands on a copy here locally at Walmart, but unfortunately it looks like online many different retailers are having to cancel all of their orders, their pre-orders, because they just don't have copies. Not enough copies. And that's crazy. I mean, it's obvious because people were really excited about these games coming out. I've been personally very excited about these games coming out. And so, of course, people were going to be jumping right on to get them. And the fact that they're making this a limited release on top of it, and you'll only be able to buy it until March, I think also really incentivizes a lot of people to want to jump on it now in case there isn't enough copies and they sell out entirely well before March. But yeah, hopefully anybody who wants to get a copy of this game will be able to, because at this point it looks like if you're at least pre-ordering online, you're not going to have the easiest time being able to do that. Otherwise, I do know obviously you guys can download it digitally, which might be a better option for many people. I would like to have a physical copy just because it'll be cool, especially since it's only a limited run, to have the physical edition of it. However, if I can't find a physical copy, obviously I'll settle for the digital one, just so that we can at least play the games. Because I don't know about you guys, but one of the very first N64 experiences I ever had. We never owned an N64 when I was a kid, but our local video rental store had the capability of renting out systems, which is personally something that I think they should do. I mean, honestly, I think if they still did that, many video rental stores wouldn't be going out of business right now. But they should. They used to be able to rent out systems. You'd have to pay a deposit, obviously, in case there was anything broken and sign a waiver and stuff. But you used to be able to rent out the N64, and I think we even rented out the Sega Dreamcast once. But the very first experience I ever had on N64 was Mario, and to be able to play this game again, but on the Switch. And I kind of like that they didn't really update the graphics much and that they kept it that N64 blocky feel, but they enhanced the graphics. So it's more colorful, it pops out more on the screen. Everything looks a lot more, I use the word refined very lightly, but it's still really cool that we're going to be able to have that experience again in a more modernized fashion, especially a mobile fashion. And the other games I never actually got the chance to play. So Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy, I hear tremendous fan support for. And I've heard Mario Galaxy is one of the greatest games, especially Mario Galaxy 2, which it doesn't appear is actually in any way, shape, or form part of this upcoming triple pack. But hey, Bushy, looks like you're back. Glad to see you, man. How's it going? But yeah, so I'm really excited to try out Sunshine and Galaxy because I've heard so much about them, and I really want to try them out. I'm hoping I can get my hands on the physical copy. We'll see. What do you think, Bushy? Are you going to be getting the 3D AllStars? I know, obviously, when the new one comes out, was it 3D World? I'm going to be getting that one as well because I always loved those games, both on the handheld for the Game Boy and the console. Those were some of the best games that I ever played Mario-wise. Otherwise, in gaming news, I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on the Xbox Series S news that I came across, which was that they are doing something a little strange, it looks like, with their backwards compatibility as far as the enhanced versions of the Xbox One X. I know all these names are getting confusing at this point with Xbox. So their Xbox One X enhanced versions will not run on the Series X. And instead, they're going to be doing some other beneficial features, it looks like, which is very interesting because, you know, it's like, I guess they have their own brand of enhancement to it that they're able to do with the Xbox One S. When I was reading this article a little bit earlier, it looks like maybe it basically does the same thing but better. So, yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I'm not personally going to be getting an Xbox this generation. If we have the money to be able to do so, I'm going to be getting a PlayStation. Overall, from what I've seen, there's just more appeal to the PlayStation 5, it looks like. And I don't know. The designs are both a little wonky in my opinion, but as far as games and performance, and not to mention, I had a PlayStation 2. It's probably one of my favorite systems of all time. And I've always loved Sony. They've just haven't really captured the magic for quite a few consoles, in my opinion. And I feel like with this one, they are. Whereas Xbox, it's been the opposite. I feel like they were the ones that kind of captured that magic of gaming for quite a long time. And now they've kind of gotten stagnant. And they just don't have as much appeal this upcoming generation to me. But I don't know that much in depth about gaming, and I'm sure many of you have different opinions. That's just my opinion. I think PlayStation's going to knock it out of the park this upcoming holiday season, personally. But you guys will have to let me know what you guys think in the chat. And let me know if you guys can hear me all right, because I'm using a whole new setup with OBS and whatnot. So you have to let me know if everything checks out, sounds all right. Hopefully there isn't as much of a delay as well. Okay, then just go put it in the sink, all right? But yeah, and I'm honestly really excited for this upcoming holiday season so that I can get the PlayStation and I can start streaming a whole new brand of gaming and a whole new generation of experiences for all of us to share together. It'll be awesome, too, to get out of this crazy year and hopefully make it through the chaotic fall. But we'll move on to something a little bit more lighthearted. To one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time as far as Pokemon is concerned. The Pokemon Journeys has introduced Ash's brother. And I'm not going to play this through because obviously copyright infringement and whatnot. But is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I mean, besides this cutest little thing. Hey, look, it's Ash's little brother. And it looks like his name is Ray or Rai. I guess I'm not really sure because I haven't seen the episode yet. But either way, I'm really excited to watch through this. The kids and I and Nadia, who's actually sitting off screen over here, have not started watching. Whoop. Have not started watching the anime yet, but we're really excited to start. I think we're going to start when Aubrey comes back this week because I was trying to hold out and get through the continuity of all the previous seasons of Pokemon before jumping into Journeys. However, I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because Journeys doesn't even really follow the continuity all too well of the other seasons. It's almost like it recaps and highlights all of them and as such, but adds a whole new story and plot to it. So I think we're going to just jump in and watch the new series because all of the things I'm seeing about it are making it way too tempting to you know, to be patient, I guess. Especially since we're only in, like, gosh, I don't even know what season. We're only in Hoenn right now still as far as Ash's journey on the old seasons go. So it'll take us a long time before we're getting anywhere near Journeys. But still, super cute. If you guys are watching along, you'll have to let me know, how has Journeys been? Is it, like, the best season of Pokemon ever? Because it seems like it is. I know that it was really sad to see Twilight Wings go. I have not actually watched the last episode yet because I've wanted to kind of hold out for the channel, but it's really sad to think that that one's over as well. All right, Bushy. Well, thanks for popping in during your school break. I really appreciate that. I'll see you later as well, and hopefully on more of these streams. So I'm going to move on here to a bit of troubling Pokemon news that I came across, which is that a mother and son in Japan were actually arrested for counterfeit Pokemon operation. They were put in jail by making a bunch of counterfeit Pokemon, I guess, artwork, and they made quite a lot of money off of it, it looks like. However, from what it sounds like, the mother was doing it because she wanted her son to make money. And, you know, it's obviously it's fake. They weren't branding it, I don't think, as such, were they? No, it doesn't look like it. So, I mean, in stories like this, sometimes it's hard to... Ooh, pardon you. Sometimes it's hard to exactly come to determination. You know, obviously, the intellectual property of Pokemon is their own. And for anybody trying to necessarily steal and then resell that, it's a bit shady taking somebody else's work. However, if you're the one that's making the artwork, you know, if you drew the picture and you're just reselling that art, I don't really see necessarily a problem with that. It's basically taking somebody's work and then your own inspiration off of that. So, I don't know. It's hard to determine. I know, obviously, China is very strict, and Japan is probably not as strict, but definitely has their own brand of authoritarianism. So, I don't know. If they were marketing it as Pokemon official merchandise, I would say definitely they should be fined, not arrested, especially the kid. Come on. But I guess he's 23, so he's... I just read that for the first... He's not a kid. Either way, don't arrest them, obviously. If they're, you know, taking somebody else's property, marketing it as their own, charge them, obviously, and try to reclaim the money that they've necessarily taken from that company so that they can be reimbursed. But as far as arresting people for just trying to make a living, I don't know. That seems like a crime in and of itself, doesn't it? Moving on to some lighter news, though. I wish that I could go back in time because I would probably be rich, people. I mean, the fact that a lot of these stories keep coming out of all of these booster packs and old Pokemon cards that end up getting sold for thousands and thousands of dollars. And now we have a sealed first edition booster pack selling for a record-breaking $198,000. $198,000 for one pack of Pokemon cards. I cannot explain how many packs of Pokemon cards I had sealed and how many of the first edition cards I had in mint condition, kept in card protectors, safe and sound from the world, that I... Ooh, jeez, cover your mouth. That I got rid of because my family told me they were worthless. Either way, I hold no resentment. No, there's none. Sets like this one, especially in such extraordinary condition and sealed in shrink wrap, have become undeniable rarities. The previous record of $78,000 was set in February of 2019, and now we have the new record of almost $200,000 for a pack of Pokemon cards. Blows my mind. Alright, moving on to the last little leg of our journey here today, I wanted to talk about some rumors, because we actually have quite a lot of rumors coming out for Pokemon lately not only for Sword and Shield, but also for a possible Let's Go sequel, and also for Diamond and Pearl remakes. So we've got a couple of things to touch on here.
Those Sweat Boy, shiny slowpoke.
That's a slippery and shiny slowpoke. That's a Galarian slowpoke, not a shiny slowpoke. So first of all, I'm sure a lot of you out there have probably been following along with Pokemon if you're watching my channel, to know at least that the third DLC to Sword and Shield is being rumored a lot as of lately, and there's a lot of speculated names and possible locations and plots and included Pokemon and lots of things that have been kind of swirling about. But there's a lot of debate, especially in the Pokemon community, whether there actually will be a third DLC included, or whether Pokemon is instead going to opt for just releasing the Diamond and Pearl remakes next year, or, like I said before, the Let's Go sequel. So, as far as the Sword and Shield DLC is concerned, the rumors here... Do I have the other one up? For the Cinder... I don't think I pulled that one up. But a lot of people have been discussing lately how they probably will do a third DLC simply for the... I need to mute this here quickly. Simply for the fact that the first two DLCs were so successful, and then it also gives them the possibility of including in the remainder of the Pokédex into Sword and Shield. Obviously, fans have been wanting that since the very beginning of Sword and Shield's announcement that they weren't going to be including all of the Pokemon. So... what these newest rumors essentially are going over is that it'll include the remainder of the Pokemon. There will be a new legendary Pokemon included, and essentially a whole brand new location that's about the size of the Crown Tundra, with a couple of new features included as well. But what this article here is bringing up is that there could be some unintended consequences if we do end up getting a third DLC. For one, it probably won't be included in the price that you've already paid for Part 1 and Part 2. So ultimately, you're going to have to pay another probably $15 or $20 just to get the third part of the DLC. And for 2, it could prolong the period by which we get any form of other game or region or remake or sequel of any sort. And fans will essentially be stuck. I don't want to use that word because I like Sword and Shield and I like Galar, but fans will have to be, playing in Sword and Shield a little bit longer than I think a lot of people would like, especially since many people are kind of wanting to see what's next, especially when it comes to the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I think ultimately, if they don't deliver the Diamond and Pearl remakes next year, that could be troublesome for some of the fans. But that's what some of these other rumors that I've popped up here are kind of going over. Some of these people are talking about how it's probably not going to be as great as what we're hoping it to be. This thing like this article right here is talking about a new rumor making the rounds online suggests Nintendo may have something similar to the Mario 3D collection in store for Pokemon. While Game Freak is still busy supporting Pokemon Sword and Shield with things like the upcoming Crown Tundra, some fans are looking ahead to see what's next. No new main series Pokemon games have been announced, but a rumor making the rounds online suggests the next games will be remasters. So, what this goes on to say is that Nintendo Alerts, which has accurately leaked Nintendo-related news in the past, is saying that people have been complaining about the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection, and that they're going to be complaining even more about the Pokemon thing that's coming. And it seems to suggest that the Pokemon Remasters or a collection of some sorts is in the works, though that's just speculation at this time. Now, if they're saying that Pokemon, like, Nintendo's about to release some form of collection of past Pokemon games, like, they're going to give us basically the Virtual Boy, but on the Switch, and we're going to be able to play, let's say, Gens 1 through 4 again, and we're not going to be getting an actual remastered 3D Pokemon Platinum version, or Diamond and Pearl version, essentially, I could see why fans would complain about that. I don't think all fans would complain about that. I think if fans were delivered a more finely tuned version of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum still the top-down 2D version, but more finely tuned. If they were able to get that kind of game on the Switch, I think they'd be happy with that, actually, because they've been yearning to go back and enjoy all those games, but sometimes it's hard to play on the tiny little screens of the 3DS or, previous consoles. So quite honestly, I don't think that hardcore fans will really complain too much about that aspect, but I do think basically all fans will complain about not being able to get a actual I shouldn't say remastered, an actual re-envisioned copy of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum on the Switch. Kind of like how they had Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That was not just copy and paste Ruby and Sapphire. They completely re-envisioned the games. They re-envisioned the graphics. They completely added new story elements and new even features and mechanics to the game. So if they don't deliver a similar experience to Gen 4, I can understand why some fans will be irritated. I think I personally would even be a little bit let down, because I have been looking forward to seeing Sinnoh on the Switch in, Pokemon Sword and Shield graphics and looking like Galar in that same kind of, are you getting down? In that same kind of, graphical style and everything. So hopefully this is just a rumor in a sense, and maybe we're going to see a collection of all the past games plus a remake of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. So maybe. Let's hold out our breath for that. So, yeah, let's move on here. We're going to go to... Get that out of the way here. Get that out of the way here. What was this one here? I don't think that's what I... This is just more about the Sinnoh remakes here. This is actually one of the rumors that I found on Reddit. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum remakes are coming out, it says, on 24th of February, 2022. And the starters will be able to Mega Evolve. In addition, you will be able to catch Giratina, Shaman, Darkrai, Regice, Registeel, Regirock, Regigigas, and Arceus in the post-game in that order. Which is a bit specific. I mean, honestly, especially considering we're already going to be getting the Regis. I don't know, that's interesting. Moreover, the graphics will be the same as Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is what I was saying before would be nice. When you beat Cynthia and become Sinnoh's champion, you get access to the Unova region, where you can battle the gym leaders and become Unova's champion as well. Now, see, that's where, I don't know. This is where this rumor might lose me a bit more. Furthermore, there will be a DLC. You can travel to the Beast World, where you'll encounter lots of beasts, and the final boss will be a new beast, which will appear in Pokemon Journeys. There you'll be able to build your own world, spending watts, den still in the game, and build a place where you and your Pokemon will be staying. That's everything I know about Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Source, trust me, bro. Totally fake. Totally just a total fake. Obviously, I don't have to, explain why. I mean, right at the end, they divulge that. However, the fact that they are traveling to the Unova region, not going to happen. If they were going to travel and have a second region included, they would have done that with Sword and Shield, with the Kalos region, because I feel like that was the most perfect opportunity they had. X and Y were undercooked games. They were not fully developed. A lot of fans were very concerned and dissatisfied with the way the games came out. And they had the perfect potential to include X and Y as a post-game in Sword and Shield, and they didn't. So I don't think they're going to do that in any further games, honestly. I really couldn't see that being the case. If anything, maybe, just maybe, we could see a DLC for Sword and Shield that includes the Kalos region, but at this point, I've been doubting that further and further. I was one of the people at the very beginning that was like, yeah, we're getting Kalos, it has to... No, they totally disappointed. I don't know, it's irritating in a sense, because it was a great opportunity, it really was, for Pokemon. But there's no dang way that they're going to include Unova in any form of post-game for Sinnoh's remakes at all. And as far as the Beast World, I could see that being a part more of the upcoming DLC, Part 3 DLC for Sword and Shield. But I don't know, it seems unrealistic when it comes to including it in a Sinnoh game. Especially since Sinnoh, I feel like, would have more correlation to megas than it would to Ultra Beasts and stuff like that. So we're going to move on from there. This is another leak that I came across about Pokemon's next 2 to 3 years, as this supposed leaker is saying. So we're just going to go over this. It's all subject to change, they say. My source is a former Game Freak employee that was recently fired. I cannot even, if I had a dime for every time I've heard that, I'd be a billionaire. Sinnoh remakes are not coming until Generation 9, which is set to drop holiday 2022. I could not see them dropping Generation 9 that quickly, honestly. I think they're going to hold out longer for Gen 9. 2021 will have Let's Go, Ho-Oh, and Lugia, which drops the set starter thing and lets you choose from Gen 2 starters. And the games include Mega Evolution as well as Generation 1 Pokemon. Let's Go Johto cuts the entire Kanto postgame and instead puts the Let's Go Pikachu Eevee character as the champion. Interesting. 2022 games are called Frost and Flame with a Spain region. Game Freak is bringing Mega Evolution back so that people will stop complaining about their gimmicks. But people complain about that gimmick. Game Freak has listened to the fans and are working on a huge post game. The post game is the reason for the extra long wait. We will go back to Kalos in post, where a battle frontier has been built in Azure Bay. I can't give you much on the main story, as my source was only working on the post game. A Platinum, yes, I did say Platinum remake is planned for 2023. So, I don't know on that one. Personally, I don't know. I feel like these are things that we've kind of heard before, and these are things that we've kind of speculated. A lot of people have been speculating on for a while, I guess. But as far as the time frame goes, I guess some of the things that are a bit discrepancy for me is the fact that I do think that the Generation 9 games are not going to come out until a little later. I think they do want to wait, especially to see what the Switch is going to do. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumors of an enhanced version of the Switch coming out for quite some time, so I think that the next generation of Pokemon would take place, I'm assuming, on the next enhanced version of the Switch. It'll probably be backwards compatible, obviously. I shouldn't say backwards compatible because it'll still be a Switch. It'll probably still work on a normal Switch, but I think they're going to wait for the enhanced, more powerful Switch because it'll have better graphics and stuff to really fully be able to dial in the next generation of Pokemon. However, the whole cutting, Let's Go, or I guess we'll move on to the Let's Go Johto because that's the next part of this. I do think that we're going to see another Let's Go game. I think Let's Go was extremely popular, especially with children and families, and the whole gimmick of catching Pokemon and whatnot was really fun and entertaining. And even though the game itself was a bit shallow, the fun aspect of things, the enjoyment aspect of things was enough to keep a lot of people playing it, and even still to this day playing it. I mean, I know my daughter she still pops into Let's Go Eevee and plays it. The fact that they would cut the post game, I think, is preposterous. I think ultimately they already have the Kanto region mapped out on the Switch from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It would be very easy for them to drop that in as a post game, especially if they cut out the storyline and just kept the actual region with the gyms and everything. So, I don't know. I don't think that that's very believable. I think ultimately if they do a second game, a second Let's Go game, a sequel to the Eevee and Pikachu, they will include the Kanto region. Obviously, I think they will also include the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee character as champion, but that's, when you go and seek them out on Mount Silver like you did with Red. So, I don't know. As far as the Generation 9 games being called Frost and Flame, who knows at this point? I think it's so far off that they probably don't even have tentative titles for that generation yet. They probably have, working project titles, but I doubt they have anything nailed down this far out. I mean, they didn't have Sword and Shield determined this many years in advance. I'm sure they had working titles, and I'm sure they kind of had a theme they wanted to go with. But I don't know if, ultimately that's... We'll have to wait and see. They've been going with very inconspicuous titles as of late, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they go with. And like I said when I was reading it, as far as them bringing Mega Evos back just so people stop complaining. That's not going to work, and I don't think that's very accurate. People complained about Mega Evolutions as well. I love Mega Evolutions. I actually don't mind Gigantamax. Dynamax is a little gimmicky to me, but Gigantamax is cool. But ultimately, I thought Mega Evolutions was really awesome and would be really cool if they brought it back. Also, on the whole post-game thing, I do think that they're not going to do very in-depth post-games anymore, and that they'll probably stick to DLCs because that is our post-game now. You know, and it gives them more of a revenue. It gives them more of the capability of making a bigger post-game that has more of its own feel that's separate from the game itself. So I do think it's, not a bad idea for them to do such a thing. I don't think they'll be going to Kalos. Honestly, I think if they're like I said, if they're going to go to Kalos, they're going to do that now because the Galar region and the Kalos region are so close together. It would only make sense. But ultimately, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys think that we're going to be getting Generation 4 remakes next? Are they coming out next year? Do you think we're getting Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee sequels next year? Do you think we're going to be getting a third DLC and all the rest of the games are going to be pushed back because of all the craziness that happened this year with everything in the world? Or do you guys think that all of this rumor is correct and we're not getting anything essentially till 2022 and they're going to be axing some of the features of Let's Go? Let me know in the comments. I'm kind of up in the air. I think personally, like I said before, they've got a plan, and they've been kind of sticking to it pretty tentatively thus far for the past few generations. I don't see why they wouldn't continue to do so. But moving on here, there's a couple of last little fun stories I wanted to pop up. Just for discussion purposes. Unpopular opinion, I'm okay if Meowth gains a regional variant in every generation. Me too. I think it's so cool that they're working on taking other Pokemon, some of the more classical, famous, popular Pokemon, and giving them new life, giving them new designs, creativity, new typings even, and new personalities from different regions that we haven't seen them before. I think it would even be cool while they're revisiting old generations if there was brand new Pokemon discovered, because why not? There are new Pokemon discoveries all the time, and I think it would keep these regions feeling fresh. If they went back to Sinnoh and all of a sudden started discovering Sinnoh regional variants that had started evolving from previous Pokemon, that would be so cool. Especially if they fast forwarded the timeline at all and made up for some time and evolution and whatnot. I think it'd be really awesome. Meowth is one of those where they've been kind of trying this out. They did it obviously with Alola and now Galar. And I think if they did it with the next generation, that'd be really cool too. Hey, little cat, how's it going? Thank you so much for popping into the stream today and saying hello. Hopefully you go back and rewatch the video. A lot of great news I covered right here at the end today, but a lot of great news I covered in the last 30 minutes or so. So make sure at the end of the video you go back and rewatch. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. I was just discussing how I really do fully believe that it'd be cool if not only Meowth, but other Pokemon got different regional variants in every generation. Meowth, as they discuss here in this post, is one of the bigger faces of the Pokemon series. Obviously, the Meowth that Jesse and James traveled with became extremely popular and is probably the reason that they even decided to give it so much attention in the last couple of generations. But either way, I think it'd be really cool, and I just wanted to bring up this unpopular opinion that I agreed with as far as regional variant Meowths go. And then to round things out, if anybody wants to donate for me to be able to get this chair, isn't this the coolest thing you've seen? I mean, it looks so comfortable. And the only thing I hope is that it actually walks on those legs. Because that would be awesome. Just be able to, cruise around. But, yeah, anyway, that was just a bit of a joke I wanted to end with. This giant scorpion is really a zero-gravity gaming chair and computer workstation. It just looked incredibly comfortable, and I think it'd be really cool to be able to have for even just being a creative designer and just be able to sit back, play some music. It kind of actually reminds me of that scene in Grandma's Boy. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie or not, but JP, one of the game designers, is sitting in this really, honestly, scorpion-looking chair with this extremely techno music playing, and it's a very funny scene. But either way, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this morning upload. I'm going to be doing this, like I said, at least once a week. I'm going to try to kind of incorporate it more often. I really enjoyed doing this, kind of just sitting here chatting, talking about the news with you guys today. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure, if you haven't yet, you hit that subscribe button down below and you drop a like to show your support on the video. Leave a comment of what your favorite news story of the day was. And as always, this has been ProfNoki, and I hope that you have a great day.